What's up everybody, welcome to the channel DauvO, where we talk about Italian real estate, and today we're talking about €1 homes. This is Biccari's €1 home video, so stick around. Please take a moment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I know that a lot of people just sit back and don't press the subscribe button. Please just give it a click. It really will help our channel grow, especially if you find yourself coming back to us pretty often. Biccari has a view of the sea, even though it's about an hour away, because of a large stretch of grain fields. Now, you can barely see it on the horizon, but you can see the mountain in the middle that is actually Gargano National Park. If that wasn't enough, it actually has a forest on the backside, up on the upper hill, that gives you a direct access to the nature with a lake called Lake Pescara, as well as an overlook with a bunch of picnic areas, some camping, some fishing. So when you're there, there's plenty to do. We're going to enter the first house right now, which is in a state of abandonment. It is definitely a €1 home, and definitely shows it. This is an area that's been closed. There's been humidity damage, water damage, potentially from roof leaks, and you can see why. Looking at the wood beam system, you can even see through the cracks in some areas. This is a pretty typical site, and obviously for €1, you're going to have to put some effort into the renovation of the project. Much like other €1 home communities, Biccari does require a bond. This, I believe, is a €3,000 bond that will be given back at the moment that you complete the renovation. Did you see the view out the side window? One of the challenges in homes like this is trying to add additional windows, especially in historical centers. Everybody likes lots of light coming in. These aren't really designed that way. So if this is something you desire, talking to Angelo will give you an idea of whether that's going to be possible. I have to say that I really like the stone facade look that's on the outside of this building. You can even see the rings where they used to keep their animals tied up. It's only about, well, a little bit less than 50 square meters, or 550 square feet, let's say. It's a nice studio apartment style living. Now, there is a space below it. A lot of people that buy €1 homes, they tend to stretch out into the neighboring properties as long as they're also abandoned. This one has a space underneath that could potentially be purchased to make a townhouse style property. But either way, it's still not going to get much above 80 square meters, which is still pretty average for an Italian home in the historical center. If you haven't seen the previous video where we talked about the pros and cons of purchasing or living in Biccari, go ahead and check that out by checking the card in the corner. The second home is interesting. We start with the bottom, basically the ground floor. We step in, we just have one single room that's about the same size, maybe potentially smaller than the previous. Going up the stairs, also for sale, is this kitchen and extra room with, I believe, the bathroom here in the middle. That is all in one single sale together. Total square footage, about 70 square meters at maximum. It seems already to be a little bit better than the previous example for the space that you get for the price, but the location, we need to compare one to the other. The first home was actually on a more principal road. This one is on a side street. So the first one would have the potential to drive straight up, stop, grab your groceries, throw them out, and then go park somewhere if you can't find parking nearby. The second, you'd always have a bit of a walk in order to reach there. Now, that's a pretty common occurrence. It's up to you to decide which one is better. It does look a step more livable than the previous example, but still in great need of attention. A fun fact is that Biccari has a bit of a history. If you ever heard of Ralph De Palma was born in Biccari. if you don't know who he is, was a race car driver who actually raced in the Indianapolis 500. In 1912, after driving the race for 196 laps, 2 laps from the end, he suffered a mechanical failure on his car. At this point, with the help of his mechanic, De Palma pushed the car to the finish line by hand in an attempt to be classified in any case. He was born the 19th of December in 1880. From what I understand, most people in America probably think he was born in Troy, but Biccari claims him as his own. He died in Pasadena, California in 1956 at the age of 73. And at that time, very few of the greats of the steering wheel of the race car drivers made it to the end of their careers unscathed. They also call him the fastest driver in the world. Point is, I asked them where he lived, and they brought me to this street, pointed at this house, and from what we understand, this used to be his home. I really love how over many of the doorways there's a date written. Now, it's not the date in which the building was constructed, but the date in which it was renovated perhaps, or when they actually installed this beautiful archway. We're going to check out one more property, but make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're going to be sharing another video about the superior homes. And actually that's where the basically Biccari got its fame, I guess. They have nearly 100 homes that are going to be sold, and a lot of them are actually superior homes that are move-in ready, or at least almost move-in ready, that are going to take very light remodels in order to jump into it. Biccari doesn't have a real estate agent, so all of the transactions run through, well, Angelo or this commune in order to kind of restore the growth of Biccari in general. But make sure you come back for that video because we're going to show even more properties that are a good bargain for really move-in ready real estate. Our last property has some, hidden stone facade underneath that rendering as well. But when you first walk in, this was the first one that was a bit dangerous. We had to avoid being hit by the falling tile, and you can see multiple beams that are water, rotted out from water damage. You can see through the roof in many locations. But this one, at the same time, looks like they were living here when this all occurred. They just left their stuff. Maybe they were using it here every once in a while. Who knows? I didn't get the whole history of this place, but there's a certain number of interventions that have to take place before you could move into this one. It does have a loft area, and we get a little bit of a peek of what's up there right now. It seems like most of the work is actually going to be to liberate the home from the old furniture. It's like walking into a time capsule. So that's it. These 3 homes were the one-year homes I was able to witness when I came to Biccari. But, potentially they've already been sold because I was there in June. Potentially they're still waiting there for anyone to come and pick them up. There's going to be more for sure. Un video così
Sì, certo.
vale molto. Penso.
Bello, sì.
Ok, a posto.
Per esempio, a me piace tanto questa casa perché ritiene il suo valore legale.
Sì. Quindi questa qua stai dicendo la cantina sotto?
Sì, la cantina si entra di fuori.
Sì. Un'ottima soluzione in realtà.
Dove c'avevo lo studio, la prima parte.
Well, while you're there, you might even notice some for sale signs. I noticed a few businesses for sale, and actually this building was quite nice. This was a trattoria or a restaurant in the middle of the historical center for sale. There was a number of tabacchini that were also for sale. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you really enjoy the nature if you decide to visit. But there's more real estate than just the historical center of town as well. There's plenty to see. See you next time.